Hey everybody, it's Mike. I am back, and sorry about the echo. I think there's some echo in here. We're in the new Mike's Madhouse studio. The new Mike's Madhouse studio. So it hasn't. We've just moved in, and it's not really set up. But I wanted to come live because I got something important I want to talk about, and I wanted to share. And it's important enough that I need to do it now, and so that's why I'm doing it in the new unfinished Mike's Madhouse studio. So let's get right to it because this is really important regarding cults and what happens when you protest cults. So we're going to go on to this.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so I've been doing this for about a year now, just about a year. I've been going live and I've been talking about my experiences in the Hare Krishnas, what I lived through, what my daughter lived through. I've been exposing everything that I know about the Hare Krishnas. Everything from their fake gurus to the child abuse to the murders, everything. And I'm not the only one. There's been other books have been written, movies have been made, documentaries have been done all around the world about this dangerous cult. But I started doing this about a year ago. And again, I was in the Hare Krishnas for 20 years. I've been out for about 12 years, going on 13 years now. And I started doing this about a year ago. Now, as it says on the thumbnail, ruffled feathers and stochastic terrorism. So, let's see here. So I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about as far as ruffled feathers and stochastic terrorism. So let me show you what just came across the wire about 48 hours ago. Okay, this was about 48 hours ago. So this guy wrote on his webpage, and this is the webpage where I get my information from, because he documents all the Hare Krishna crimes, everything that's going on, pretty much daily. He writes this blog daily of what's going on in the Hare Krishnas, and he puts his spin on it. So he gets his information from other places, but he kind of consolidates it all. He's kind of like the Alex Jones of the Hare Krishna movement. So here's what I came across the other day. So he's bragging about his webpage and how he says, it looks to me like a few people catch on, and then they send links to their friends and others, and it sort of spreads grassroots. He's talking about his webpage. Generally, the USA has been my overall traditional higher readership, but this can change from day to day, as we see herein. He says, it looks like more folks are waking up to the fact that ISKCON is a dysfunctional mess of a mass of bogus gurus, and they want to find a better solution. So he basically agrees with me that ISKCON is a dysfunctional mess of a mass of bogus gurus. That's what I'm saying. That I include Prabhupada in that group of bogus gurus. Hey, Ileana, good to see you. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here because this is important stuff that I'm about to share. It's as important as it gets. So he says here. So I'm saying the same thing he says. I'm right there. He says everything I say everything he says. We're basically in agreement on just about everything, except one small thing. So he says here, he goes on and he says, and maybe it is me and Srila Prabhupada. Someone told me that ISKCON's enemies, and I wonder who that is, ISKCON's enemies are gloating over Trivikrama's problems because it proves ISKCON is a bogus, it proves ISKCON is bogus. So I wonder who that is. Who's been making videos about Trivikram Swami? I've made about 4 videos in the last week about this guy. So he says, he goes on, he says, right, unless ISKCON adopts worshiping Prabhupada, it will just build more and more oppression and enemies. So I'm definitely an enemy. I'm an enemy. I'm definitely an enemy of ISKCON. Well, he considers me an enemy. He goes on and he says, and one report says that the cult watch people, let me show you here, he says, cult watch people right here. And one report says that the cult watch people are already advertising the Trivikram fall down as evidence the GBC does not vet their gurus and never has. So he's right about that. I am doing that. And I guess I'm the cult watch people. I'm the cult watch people. Because I don't know anyone else who's doing this, but I am. And so he says, so the cult watch, he goes on and he says, the cult watch people are ridiculing and making fun of ISKCON, which means making a mockery of Srila Prabhupada, the sannyas order, the parampara, and of course, Krishna. He says, a lot of New Age yoga type people type in Hare Krishna to Google search, and they come to these cult watch sites. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I do these videos, because I know if you type in Hare Krishna, you're going to get a bunch of Krishna videos, and now you get my videos too. And they don't like that. He says, go to Google search, and they come to these cult watch sites. Trivikram only cares about the name and reputation of himself, and not ISKCON or Srila Prabhupada or Krishna. I, me, and mine. So basically, what he's saying here, this is the stochastic terrorism part. So the cult watch people are ridiculing and making fun of ISKCON, which means making a mockery of Srila Prabhupada, the sannyas order, the parampara, and of course, Krishna. So you go, well, that doesn't sound like, okay, how is that stochastic terrorism? Well, let's look at what he says about himself. So basically on the same page, let's see, where is this? Let me find it here. It'll just take a moment. Okay, so here it is. No, this is not it. Okay, I apologize. I don't know what happened here, but let me find it for you because Okay, so he's talking about Satsarup Goswami. So Satsarup Goswami, when when Salochan was murdered. So he's referring, this refers to when Salochan was murdered, the guy with the 2 bullets in his head in Los Angeles. He was basically saying the same thing I was saying. But not, I include Prabhupada in the fake gurus, in the pedophilia, and everything. That's where they draw the line. They want to blame everybody else. I blame everybody else. But I also blame Prabhupada. They don't want Prabhupada to be blamed. So he says here, so when the guy who was murdered and the guy who's writing this webpage, when they were trying to expose these gurus, they put a hit out on the guy that got shot. So he says, Satsarup Das, quote, Satsarup Das Goswami is so humble, he says me and Salochan, what the proper English would be, Salochan and I. He says me and Salochan are poison pens to make us targets for assassination. And it worked good for Satsarup Das Goswami. Salochan said they are directing us to make us targets, to take us out. And we were targets, and Salochan was taken out. And why were we targets? Because we said Kirtanananda Swami is a type of pedophile who is having oral sex with boys, and he is therefore not qualified to be worshipped as God's successor. And we had to be eliminated for objecting to all this. So he's saying that in the Krishna world, they can just make a statement, this guy's a poison pen, and then the assassination, the hitmen will come out and they will go attack the guy, because that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. So here he is doing the same thing, or trying to do the same thing with me. He's saying the cult watch people are ridiculing and making fun of ISKCON, which means making a mockery of Srila Prabhupada, the Sannyas order, the Parampara, and Krishna. So not only am I making offenses or making a mockery and ridiculing Trivikram Swami, which I am. I'm also making fun and ridiculing ISKCON, which I am. Which means I'm making a mockery of Srila Prabhupada, which I am. The Sannyas order, their Sannyas order. I'm not making fun of anyone else who's outside of ISKCON. They do whatever they want. I'm talking about ISKCON. I'm talking about Prabhupada and these fucking freaks that follow him and distribute his books and molest children and have sex with their disciples while sitting there preaching about all kinds of crap. Women are less intelligent. Women have small brains. Little girls should get married. Prabhupada was 22 when he had sex with 11-year-old girls. I'm not afraid to say that. And I'm not afraid of these freaks. If they want to come and put a hit out on me, what can I do? I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. So here he goes on to say, personally, I have to admit, all this has been a big surprise to me. When I was a kid growing up, no one would ever have been able to convince me that I would later have to counter a homosexual pedophile messiah's project. There are no swamis, orchestrated murders, poisoning pure devotees. He admits that that's what they do. But I'm the bad guy. I'm the one that needs. I'm the one that needs. And he's doing the same exact thing that they did to him. He's saying, hey, here's this guy. He's an offender. He's bad. Let nature take its course. And he's hoping that someone will find out who the cult watch people are, track them down, and make them stop. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's saying here. He's saying, so the cult watch people are ridiculing and making fun of ISKCON, which means a mockery of Srila Prabhupada. Oh my goodness. Don't make a mockery of Srila Prabhupada. What is this, the Taliban? Are these Islamic Muslim leaders that you can't talk about Allah? You can't talk about Muhammad? Otherwise they'll put a jihad on you? If you draw a cartoon about Muhammad, or you make a cartoon in a French newspaper about Muhammad or Allah, they come and they shoot up the newspaper building and assassinate the cartoonist. If an author writes a book, Salman Rushdie writes a book about the satanic verses or whatever, and they don't like it, the Ayatollah doesn't like it, they put a hit out on him, and he has to go into hiding for 25 years of his life because he wrote a book, because some crazy religious fanatic freak doesn't like it, and so now they can just assassinate you. Is that what ISKCON is now? Is that what ISKCON is? If you criticize ISKCON and they don't like it, they can just say, oh, you're making a mockery of Krishna, you're making a mockery of... Well, so what? What are you saying? No, you can't do that. Are you saying it's just like Muhammad and Allah, that no one around the world is allowed to say anything about Krishna or say anything about anybody in your religion? Who do you think you are? You're the Ayatollah now? You can just sit on your webpage and say, I don't like this guy, go take him out? Because that's what they did with you, and that's what you're doing now. He complains all the time how they put a target on his back, and how they put a target on Slochan and shot him in his van, and how these gurus orchestrated this murder. He says they orchestrated a murder. And now he's going to sit there and say the same thing about the cult watch people. Basically, he's trying to tell his followers, because he's got a bunch of followers. He's telling his followers, go find out who these cult people are, this cult watch people are. But he knows who I am. My name is right on the... I'm not afraid. My name is right there. It says Mike Sandoval right on the thumbnail, where it says Krishna Cult Updates. He knows it's me. And his people come in and watch my thing, and then they go report back to him and go, hey, he's talking about Trivikram Swami. Oh, he's talking about Prabhupada. Hey, he's talking about this and that. Like I care. But so I wanted to make this video and just talk about how this is going on, and how all of these cults, whether it's Scientology or Hare Krishna, they will use violence to silence their critics and threats of violence. He knows I'm gonna read this. He knows I'm gonna read this. He knows his people are watching and going back and reporting back to him what I'm doing. It's no secret. So so the ruffled feathers, obviously, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm reaching a lot of people. Because if I wasn't doing the right thing and I wasn't reaching anybody, nobody would care, especially this guy. So just let that be a lesson to anybody out there. And like I've been telling the Scientology people out there, they're gonna come at you with violence. They're gonna come at you with threats and violence and all of these things, and they have, and they do, and most people know that. Some people don't know. Like, I hope that people out there who think that Hare Krishna is all love and peace and they wouldn't never hurt a fly, they can see how they want violence towards anybody who speaks up. Anybody who speaks up speaks out. So if anybody tells you, oh, these Hare Krishnas, or they look at me and they go, oh, Mike, oh, you know, you talk about all this stuff there, but, you know, these guys seem harmless. I go there all the time. I go to the restaurant, I go to the Sunday, and this, and it doesn't, and I don't see anything. Well, look at this right here. Look at what this guy is saying. Look at what he said. He's in the cult, and look at what he says. And look at what he says happened to him by the leaders of the cult, and then compare that to what he's saying about the cult watch people. Because at one time, he was the cult watch people. He was watching the cult and reporting on what was going on. And they came after him. And now I'm the cult watch people. And he is coming after me. So this is what the cult, this is what they teach. This is what they are. He thinks he's the good guy in the cult. I'm the good guy. I'm going to expose all this bad stuff. But when I come along and I really expose the cult, because I'm not in it, how can you expose the cult if you're in it? You got to get out of it, and then you could expose it. Otherwise, you're just a political faction of it. You want power for yourself, so you can decide who's who and what's what. Instead of people deciding your participation, you want to be the one to make the decisions. They kicked. He's not allowed in ISKCON, this guy, because he's critical of them. But he's still in it. He just can't go to the temples and stuff because they don't want him there because of the violence. He's afraid. They'll go chase him out. He's afraid something's going to happen to him because he speaks out against them. But I'm not in the cult. I'm out of the cult. I can speak about all of it. He doesn't want to speak out against stuff that he doesn't want to speak out against. Because he'd have to reject everybody, all his friends and everybody in the whole thing. He didn't want to do that. He doesn't want to speak out against the people he didn't like. People in charge, people making decisions. He wants to make the decisions. He wants to decide who is the poison pen. He wants to decide who's making a mockery of Srila Prabhupada, who's making a mockery of Krishna. They sit there and they call him the offender, and he's the bad guy to them. And he's no different because I'm the bad guy to him. It's the same shit. That's why I'm saying it's all the same shit. The Ritviks are no better than ISKCON. ISKCON, ShitCon, Ritviks, Shitviks, ISKCON, PissCon, it doesn't matter. They all do the same thing. It's the same violence, it's the same tactics, it's the same brainwashing, it's the same Stockholm syndrome. There's no difference. He thinks he's the good cop, and ISKCON is the bad cop. And they're going to play good cop, bad cop. He's the bad cop too. He's no good cop. Vyasadeva was not a real person. Ganesh did not write the Vedas down with his tusk. He didn't do it. There's no demon head eating the moon. There's no floating guitar playing spaceman chanting Narayan, floating between planets. It's just not there. It's just not happening. The Earth is not flat, and there's no elephants in orbit keeping the Earth stable so it doesn't tip over. It's just... And you want to get mad because I say that? Meanwhile, there's college professors and university professors all around the world that say the same things I'm saying. Exact same thing I'm saying. Prabhupada was a cult leader. He wasn't a pure devotee of anything. He wasn't pure of anything. He was nothing. He was a failure at everything. And he was a failure at protecting the kids in his cult. And he was a failure at making leaders who were responsible, mature, spiritual guys. Because there is no such thing as a spiritual guy. He was a failure at making this cult a spiritual, righteous movement. He picked the wrong people to put in charge. He didn't correct them when they were wrong. When they left and did bad stuff, he let them come back. He didn't report crimes of child abuse to the authorities. He had no business making a boarding school where these kids would go in there and be tortured and sexually abused and everything. Yeah, I'm making a mockery of him. Fuck him. Who the fuck is he? And who are you to say that I'm whatever for making fun? Fuck yeah, I'm making fun. I'm ridiculing and making fun of the fucking Prabhupada and fucking ISKCON. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are these freaks, man? Like, who are the fucking Taliban and ISIS to tell me I can't make fun of Allah or Muhammad? I can't draw a cartoon. Who the fuck are they? Some Ayatollah somewhere? You gonna tell me what I can do? This guy gonna tell me what I can do? I can't say fuck Srila Prabhupada if I want to. Fuck you. Fuck you and your cult and your fucking freaks and your shaved heads and your robes and your sex swamis and all your bullshit. Yeah. Who are these brain dead zombies who think that they can tell us what to do? And then they're going to act like, I didn't put a hit out on this guy. When he knows exactly what he's doing because they did it to him. They did it to him. And they murdered the guy in the van. That was his friend. Supposedly his friend. I don't know how anybody could be this guy's friend. But they did it. They put a hit out on the guy. They shot him in his van. The guy's in jail. The other guys are free, running around, chanting Hare Krishna like that, like nothing ever happened. Acting like nothing ever happened. These guys, all those people that were in those temples, all those people at the LA temple who helped, all the people in the New Vrindavan temple that helped, all the people in the Cleveland or Akron, Ohio or whatever temple that helped. How come they're not in jail? How come they didn't shut the organization down for friggin' criminal interstate transport to commit murder and money and bribery and all of these things. How come none of that happened? Only one went to prison out of all the people that yeah, they got rewarded. They got rewarded. They got rewarded. They got brought back into ISKCON and they were made swamis. And the other people, they just left ISKCON because they figured, whew, I dodged that bullet, literally. Yeah, well, you know, I'm glad I'm speaking the truth too, because people need to know. People need to know. Yeah, they assassinated that guy. I mean, it happened. It happened. And it wasn't like one nut got a gun and said, I'm going to go shoot this guy. It was a whole organization. It was an organized, orchestrated hit, just like he says. And the people involved that didn't go to jail, and they come out now. There's a few of them that have come out and said, yeah, I was the guy that went and I did all of this stuff. It's called So Disgusting. I look back and feel embarrassed. Me too. You're not alone. Me too. I look back and feel embarrassed forever believing their lies too. And I was a perpetrator because I was spreading the lies and I was preaching to people and I was going out and being part of it, and I was being used by them to as a tool, as a prop. When you go out on Sankirtan, you're just a prop. And they're selling books and you're dancing and chanting and you're just a prop. It's a prop for book distribution to bring people in. And Sunday Feast is just it's just a prop. Propaganda. It's a prop. And you're part of it. And you're dancing and dancing and you don't even realize they're just using me so that other people can look and go, oh, look, people are chanting, having a good time. All the books I distributed, everybody's a perpetrator. We don't know. We're a useful idiot, but we're still a perpetrator. We're a victim and a perpetrator. First, we're a victim. Then we become a perpetrator, just like Patty Hearst. They kidnapped her, joined the cult, and then she went and she robbed a bank. And they got her for robbing the bank. And she said, well, yeah, but I was in a cult. And they're like, so what? It doesn't say you can't rob a bank unless you're in a cult. That's not the law. The law says you rob a bank. It doesn't say anything about being in a cult. You join a cult, you do something wrong, that's on you. So, yeah, I was a perpetrator. We're all perpetrators. Unfortunately, we're all perpetrators. But we all went through the same experience and cult brainwashing back then. Yeah, we all share the experience. We all know what happened. And you know, it happens. It just happens. And what makes it even more sinister is that it happened to us, and we were innocent when it happened to us. We gladly walked in believing it was something good and something nice. You know, we got taken for a ride. It's crazy. Okay, I mean, that's why I say cults cause mental illness. It's they accuse that temple of having pedophiles and no one reports it to the authorities. So that is like so typical. So like I didn't even know about this. This is something that I didn't even know about. But here is someone in my chat comes in and explains to you in the audience that, yeah, what Mike is saying, he's got an experience that I don't even know about. They accuse that temple of having pedophiles, and no one reports it to the authorities. And that's what I've been saying. They house them, and they don't report them to the authorities, and they just let them just live there. And then you don't know who's in. You don't know who's in the community of devotees of your temple or at the restaurant. You don't know who those people are. You just don't. And you go, well, Mike, you don't know who anybody is at any restaurant. That's true. But let's say you go to a restaurant down the street and it's, your neighborhood Italian restaurant, and you go get pizza there. And yeah, sure, maybe somebody in there could be abusing somebody. You don't know that. But that's just that one pizza restaurant. We're talking about a whole organization with a philosophy and the means and the opportunity to create this whole worldwide community, clusters, where you got a temple in Los Angeles where they don't report crimes or abuse, and San Francisco and San Diego and Houston, Texas, and Dallas and Chicago and New York and London and Paris and Istanbul and Rome and Venice and Switzerland and Zurich and in Australia and in Perth and in Sydney and in India and all around the world. It's not just one Italian restaurant down the street where maybe they hired a cook who did something in his past. Yeah, that can happen. But here you got a whole organization that says women are less intelligent and they like to be raped, and women are 9 times lustier than men, and that you have to be celibate because you have to keep your semen has to go up into your brain so that you can get smart, and all of this weird ass shit. And then put these guys in with these little boys after telling them that women. I mean, this is a recipe for predators. It's a recipe for abuse. It's a recipe for violence and everything. And as you can see, and yet they are abusing kids instead of getting married. Did I miss something here? Oops. Yeah. So I'm sorry. They recently kicked a girl out with broomsticks for seducing a monk who was planning on leaving the temple to marry her. Yeah, it's always the woman's fault. It was the woman's fault for agitating him. They manipulated him to stay so he wouldn't leave the temple. Yeah, don't bloop. Don't get involved with women. So now they manipulated him and her. So now it's 2 people are fucked up. What about her? She thought she was going to, what about her feelings, her emotions, her being misled and lied to and all of these things? What about her? Well, she doesn't count. It's all the guy. And yet they are abusing kids instead of getting married. Cults cause mental illness. It's mental illness all the way around. Most of the celibate monks there are not even celibate. I have seen so-called monks flirting and dating as well, manipulating the young girls. I have seen young girls being courted. 11 years old, 11 and up. There are a lot of horror stories like these at Narayan Maharaj temples. He was the worst. He was so strict and told all his disciples to be monks, and his women disciples are all single and bereft. And he wanted all the women married and all the men single. Crazy. That guy Narayan Banana Raj is whack job. He's a mad person. I know, he's totally crazy. And that's another thing, is that some of these guys are literally insane. They really have mental issues. And somehow they get into this cult and they somehow function in this cult. Probably because they can't function in the real world. But they're seriously mental. They have mental illness. I'm not joking. Like real cognitive issues. Mental illness. Like the lady at the LA temple. She wasn't lived in the temple, but she was always hanging around. She was there and she was always chanting. But she was crazy. She had real mental. She needed to be in an institution is what she needed. She needed to be in an institution, in a mental hospital, but she wasn't. She would just hang around the Hare Krishna temple and act like a devotee. But she wasn't a devotee. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. So there's a lot of people like that, like in her type of situation, where she's too mental to really function in the real world, like get a job and whatever, because she's just unstable, like mentally, So, but at the Hare Krishna temple, she fits right in. She fits right in there. She can chant and mumble her words, and she can stare off into space, and it looks totally normal. And there's a lot of people like that. They're just borderline crazy. And I mean crazy. And so that's another reason why it's dangerous. And that's another reason why there's a lot of abuse. And it's another reason why you don't want to hang out at a Hare Krishna temple. Just like Scientology. If you go hang around Scientology building, there's some crazy-ass people that hang around there. They're not like fully in Scientology, but they're like outside Scientology. But they believe it, and they're just, wow. So Hare Krishna is the same way. You go to the LA temple, and there's going to be like half a dozen crazies that just hang out there that are not really fully Hare Krishnas, but they're Hare Krishna enough that if they said, hey, go beat up that guy, they'd go beat him up. And that's exactly what they want. And that's the whole point of this whole thing that I'm doing here is these people are crazy and dangerous. You don't want to be around them. And if you are around them, just be careful. So I wanted to get to that out there because you never know when a crazy Hare Krishna might pop up at my door. You'll be, hello, you in there? And I'll be like, huh, what? So, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. It's happened before, and it's happened many times. And so I wanted to get that out there so that all the authorities out there, FBI and Interpol and whoever's out there, if anything happens to me, if anything happens to me, you know exactly where to go. It's this guy. It's this guy on this webpage who thinks I'm the cult watch people. And he has said that I am making fun of ISKCON, a mockery of Srila Prabhupada. And I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you read their books, that's a big deal. I mean, you might as well go up and punch Prabhupada in the face if you're going to. You say something bad about him, you might as well just go up and whack him with a bat because to them it's the same thing. They don't matter. So I want to thank everybody for watching out there. I'll be back. We get the studio done. We get the studio finished, and I'll be back with some more Hare Krishna updates. But right now, that's it for me today. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting a lot of views. I think because of this guy in this cult watch thing. I think I think people are actually more and more people are going and clicking on my view. I can see that the views are going up. That's why I'm saying my views are going way up. And I think that's why I'm on this guy's radar now, because for a long time I would go to his page and I'd read stuff about all the Hare Krishna stuff, and I kind of was wondering. I was like, he doesn't even know I'm doing this yet. He has no clue. So thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Please have a great day, everybody. Thank you. Awesome. You're awesome. You guys are all awesome because really, when you come into the chat, it affects the algorithm and it helps get the word out. And so that's probably why viewership is going up, because I'm getting more engagement with you guys engaging with the chat. So thanks again for everything. We'll get this going. We'll get this cult shut down. Absolutely, we'll get this cult shut down. And everybody have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great night. Have some great luck, and please stay out of a cult. And you can enjoy this closing credits here. Let's see.